Hello, and welcome again to another edition of Your Health Matters. I am Shay Brown, family nurse practitioner, plant-based nutritionist, personal trainer, and obesity management specialist. And we are doing another segment of Opening Up a New Me for the Holidays. I have a very, very special guest on here today. He is my big brother of fitness. It is none other than Chauncey, the trainer. Whenever you see me, you see him. Whenever you see him, you see me. Why? We are a tag team. And since our friendship has become one, is what I would like to call it, we have been doing a lot of major changes. I have to say that I tell people that you can't have one without the other. You cannot have nutrition without fitness, and you cannot have fitness without nutrition. They both work hand in hand. And like he and I said earlier this morning, you cannot outrun a bad diet. So I'm so excited to have him on the show today to talk about some things that we can do during the holidays, after the holidays, especially. You know how we are, those resolutions. Well, we're hoping that people get started before those resolutions. So today, just have Chauncey just introduce himself and give you guys some of what he calls giving love. Go ahead, Chauncey.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Shay, I'd like to thank you once again for inviting me onto your program and tell everyone happy holidays. My name is Chauncey, the trainer. For some of you that don't know who I am, I'm a certified fitness professional. I've been a fitness professional in the Baltimore, D.C. region for over 20 years. And I specialize in really trying to motivate people to get up and move. You know, there's exercise and different components in exercise, but what I really specialize in is trying to get people to move and don't put it off, but move today. And what we're going to try to do tonight is motivate everyone in the listening audience and viewing audience to get up and, start your exercise program for 2023 today. Starting this week. We got 11 days to the beginning of the year, and we're trying to motivate you to start moving today.
Yes, we are. And some things that, one thing that Chauncey has started as far as getting people moving is the 6:30 a.m. workout. Chauncey, how is that going?
It's going good, Shay. So what we decided to do is I go through one of my, rants about, trying to get people to move. And you motivated me to go ahead and once a week start a 10 to 12, 15-minute fitness segment of trying to get people to move, give them a little verbal information and a little warm up. So what we've been doing every Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. on Facebook Live, we've been doing a light warm up for the community, a light warm up, a light stretch, some basic calisthenics, or some weight exercises, weight bearing exercises that you can do at home or in a confined space to get you moving. We don't want you to wait until January. We're trying to get you started. So I'd like to thank anyone that's listening or viewing now that has joined us at 6:30 a.m. We'll be doing it for 2 more weeks. Yes. Next Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. Facebook Live, and the last Wednesday in December, 6:30 a.m. live. You're welcome to join us, get a good warm up, and you can hit us on the inbox before that if you have any questions about fitness or nutrition, and we can, try to respond to you on live next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Chauncey, you have been doing the 6:30 a.m. workouts for the past 2 weeks now. We have been getting a few people who have been saying that your workouts have been very, very inspiring. Number one, and we also have some people that come on 6:30 in the morning to work out with you on Wednesdays. So we do have like a little bit of a following going on. Question: would you think about maybe doing some Zoom or online classes for those that don't live in the Baltimore area?
Oh, absolutely, Shay. I would think about doing that, and I'm open to doing that. Again, as I start off, anything to try to get the community, not just Baltimore community, but anyone with the technology, we're connected all over the world. Anything that I can do to help assist people in moving, their effort to move, or inspire them. One of the things you said about the 6:30 a.m. crew, I've got a few inboxes and a few contacts from people that may not have participated in the movement, but it motivated them to say, you know what? I'm going to the gym this week. You know what? I'm going to work out this week, which is one of the things we want to do. If you can't do the workout, if you just tune in and get that motivation from me and you and Sammy for you to keep that on your mind, you'll do it. So yes, I'm definitely open to Zoom or web classes, especially through January, February, and March, to try to keep people motivated to the month of April, which will give them that 12 weeks to develop it into a habit.
Good, good, good. I'm so glad to hear that because there are a lot of people that are really not confined to homes, but some people don't feel exactly comfortable going to
Mhm.
the gym at that point, and they may need a little bit of encouraging in their own home, the comfort of their own homes. Of course, we have like the little cable TV stuff like that, but there's nothing better than having a live person that is actually working out with you, motivating you, telling you proper body alignment. I mean, those things on TV, they're not able to do things like that.
No, they're not able to do that, and they're also not able to interact. Like I mentioned, if we do decide to go into that web and some of the trainings, we could have a 5 minute answer question and answer via the live,
Mhm,
because people love instant feedback, or they love the feedback. Even though there's a lot of great fitness programs on Comcast and some of these different channels, there's no feedback, and you don't know when the video was reproduced. You kind of like the real time effect. You
mhm,
like the time effect. It's Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. Here's Chauncey the trainer, Shay Brown. Let's get to moving. You don't feel like it's manufactured. And
mhm.
that live instant feeling where someone can tell you today is Wednesday, today is December such and such, let's get up and move. So I'm definitely open to try to keep people moving.
We have a question from Janine Cochran. With
Mhm.
all the heavy food for the holidays, is it best to exercise before eating, Chauncey?
Well, exercise science, not my science, exercise science says that that's probably not a good idea to exercise before eating. Now, some people say, what do you define as eating? You do need to have some nutrition, some energy source in your body. But if you're doing a full up holiday meal, I don't think so. But if you're doing, maybe some light fare, a sandwich or an apple or a banana, so you can have some type of caloric energy in your body. But I don't suggest eating a good holiday meal and then trying to exercise. That's probably a recipe to a stomach ache and some disaster. So no.
So, with all the holiday hoopla that is almost over, I'm one that completely love the holidays, okay?
So do I, Shay. I love it too. All
But
of it.
but the only thing I don't like is all of the food, the excess calories. I mean, people they're piling it on. And then they're like, well, I'm gonna go to the gym, and work it off. But the amount of calories that you're putting onto your body, do you actually burn that many calories in the gym? I mean, how does that actually work, Chauncey?
Well, Shay, I remember reading a study years ago that the majority of Americans, a large portion of Americans, gain the majority of the weight between Halloween and the beginning of the year. And you say, well, why do you say Halloween? Time goes back, you lose those 4 hours, you start the different pumpkin spice here, the different sugars, the candies. Again, once again, you lost that 4 hours of the daylight where you're out moving.
Hmm.
One of the things is that when it gets this time of the year, it's difficult to try to say to yourself, I'm going to burn as many calories as I take in. Because
Right.
as you know from exercise science, a person be like, it's just one donut, but you might have to be on that treadmill or that elliptical, as you and I both know, for 45 to 50 intense minutes to burn those 400 calories. That is
Absolutely.
moderation. That's one of the reasons, back to the 6:30 a.m. Wednesday. We're trying to get people to try to eat moderate, drink moderate, and also watch your sugar intake over these next 11 days to the beginning of the year, so you don't go into the gym and get discouraged. I've been on this treadmill shape for an hour and it says 400 calories. It's got to be wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's not wrong. It's in the consistency. So, the answer to your question is the moderation, that it's going to be difficult if we're going to be eating thousands of calories every day for the next 11 days until the beginning of the year. Going to the gym on January 1st, that Saturday or that weekend, and think we're going to burn the 5 to 10,000 extra calories we have gained in the 6 weeks from Halloween to Thanksgiving, from Thanksgiving another 4 weeks to Christmas. It's not going to happen. So moderation
Right.
and patience, and patience.
Okay. Ms. Cochran had another question for you.
Sure.
She said, what is the approximate calories that should be consumed in a 24? Oh, that is a good question.
Well,
A
that's a question
24-hour period.
to you on the nutrition tip, because one of the things, before you start any exercise program or even a nutrition program, you should consult with your doctor and your nutritionist.
Absolutely. Ab-
Everyone has different nutritional needs. Some people will ask me, this is one of the things they always say, well, what do you eat, Chauncey? You tell me what you eat. Look, I eat healthy and I eat responsible, but I also eat for my caloric expenditure. If I was to sit here on the show today and say, well, you know what, I eat 3,500 calories, that's good for me in 24 hours, no one's going to hear about, they're not going to pay attention to, okay, I'm a runner and I might burn a lot of calories. They're going to hear 3,500 calories. So you
Absolutely.
make sure that you base that, and I'm going to bounce it back to you. Base it on your caloric expenditure too, and what works for you. Because if you're not if you're not burning enough calories and you're not getting in the good calories, you could be setting yourself up for failure. And as you and I both know, from the fitness and the nutrition side, you want to set up your eating and your fitness for success. So I'm going to bounce that to you, Shay, and I'm sure you can add a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, I definitely want to add something to that. When you are not as active as Chauncey and I are, you really want to be careful about your caloric intake. For women um, and men, uh, again, you definitely want to look at your activity level.
Yeah.
I mean, that plays a big part of it. So if you're trying to lose weight, and just a prime example, if you're eating, let's say, 2,000 calories a day, okay? All right. And most people, they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with me personally, I'm speaking only for myself. I don't eat breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's a lie. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. Your most important meal of the day is the meal that you have in the middle of the day.
I
Why?
I'll second that. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Because at that time, for me, I have given my body time enough to digest all of the food that I haven't taken in on the day before. That's just me. Okay. Number two, I don't want to wake up and just start eating all of a sudden. Okay. Well, won't you feel lightheaded and dizzy? Well, probably in the beginning processes, but I've been intermittent fasting for the past 5 years now. I don't eat past 7 o'clock, and I don't eat before 11 o'clock. Sometimes I might intermittent fast for 18 hours. Oh, is that something that I should be doing? I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying for myself. And I don't see my intermittent fasting as a diet. It
Mm-hmm.
is my lifestyle. So you have to take all of these things into consideration. You have to think about it. Is it a lifestyle? Okay. Or is it a diet? And most of the times when people start to get on that January 1st venture,
Mm-hmm.
always a diet. It's
Mm-hmm.
never a lifestyle because we've all seen it before. They'll start the venture and they'll keep that venture for about 3, 4 weeks. I want to
Weeks,
say months, but
no week,
y-
weeks.
they never really get to a full month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just like the gym. Oh, I'm gonna get in the gym and I'm gonna start working out for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Weeks.
And the first week, you're really gun ho and you're going there four,
Mm-hmm.
5 days a week. The second week, you're going to go about 3 or 4 days a week. And the third week, you're going to go about 2 days a week. And the fourth week, you're going to go one day a week.
That's it.
We've seen it over and over and over again. And that's the same way that it is with your nutrition. We're very gun ho and we really want to get in there and we want to start exercising and eating right, but it only lasts but 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That's why you have people in place like Chauncey, the trainer, that is a certified, well put together personal trainer that can guide you, in the gym to teach you how proper body mechanics, number one. All right.
Hmm.
He's very, very good at that. Proper body mechanics. And he's also a great motivator as well. Okay. So we may need that extra push to get us going past that 3 to 4 weeks in the gym. And Chauncey's have had clients that stay with him for years. I think I've been with Chauncey for the past, what, going on 3 years now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a little bit, and you're right. The body mechanics, you want to make sure the exercises that you're doing, they are effective and they're helping you meet the needs that you want. But one of the biggest problems is the motivational piece, is that you can pretty much go to any drugstore and buy a magazine, and they have some of the best exercises in those fitness magazines that you can imagine. But
Right.
the magazine is not going to interact with you. It's not going to give you the motivation outside of that unbelievable fitness model on the cover. So
Hmm.
things that I'm trying to encourage individuals to do as it relates to looking for a fitness professional or looking for a gym, you have to find the right fitness professional or the right gym that works for you. And one of the keys I try to get people to see is try to find the place that you know that you can do for 6 months.
Right.
Don't let the price or the I need to hurry up and do this. You need to look at if it's going to be a lifestyle, even the nutrition plan. As you were speaking about nutrition, you don't want the fast January 1 to February 1st nutrition plan. You want the January 1 to June
Absolutely.
lifestyle nutrition plan. That's what you want. So, one of the things we're trying to encourage people at this time of the year, with these last 2 weeks, is to do a little research, find the exercise gym that works for you, find the fitness professional. If I'm that one, my contact information is there. One of the most important parts of the whole fitness is the motivation piece. The try to keep it fun, try to keep it creative, try to put together goals that you know that you can handle to feel good. We all need a goal. We all need a goal. We all need a win. I try to make sure my clients get a win. Everyone's win is different. Some individuals want to train to run a 5K. I've trained extreme athletes that want to be bodybuilding. Some want to just train to have an overall better quality of life. I've had some individuals for functional training to help them at their warehouse job or to help them on lifting and picking up things. So you really want to be careful and know why you're trying to work out, because that's going to help you stay motivated and help you set yourself up for success.
It's funny that you said the functional training because in the office, I get a lot of patients that come in, saying they have lower back pain or cervical pain. I mean, just mostly just the lower back pain. And 9 times out of 10, it is because of the excess adipose tissue that they have wrapped around that spine. And it
Yeah,
is because of improper body mechanics as well. But as you talk about, you have trained a lot of people. We have a guest on right now that I'm about to bring on now. This guest, I have to say, she has, I am like so proud of her. She has come from, like I said earlier, a very, very highly embedded couch potato to where she is running circles around everyone now.
everybody.
Everybody, she is running circles. And she thanks me and Chauncey, but I tell her, we couldn't have done anything without you. The
Absolutely.
determination that this lady that
She was,
she has, the fight that she has, and it's not fighting it, she's fighting for her life,
yep,
basically.
that's it.
She has been fighting for her life since the day she came into Chauncey's gym.
Hmm.
And I can tell you, I'm so proud of her, the change that she has made. I am trying to upload her pictures so you can see the before and after pictures that she has um, um, sent to us. So, without any other further ado, I'm going to bring her on. This is no one other than our own Baltimore's Today with Dr. K. There she is, right there. Hello, Dr. K. Yes, Thank you so much. And I know you are like one of the most busiest people. I thought I was busy, but look, you and I have to set reminders just for us to even talk to each other. I can't hear you, Dr. K. I think women, you're muted.
Let me unmute. I'm unmuted
There
now.
you
Thank you. I'm
are.
glad I could join you. My son is driving. I said, pull over so I can have my conversation with Shay and Coach because I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you have both me and Chauncey on the show with you today. We want to talk about you and where you first got started. Not when you first got started with Chauncey, when you first got started with news that, hey, look, your health is in limbo right now with your doctor. Can you talk to the audience about that?
So I have been hearing from my doctor probably the last 4 years before I started with Chauncey that my weight was going up and that they were getting very concerned. My doctor would say, you need to walk, you need to go out. And I never felt that I had the time. I was working towards becoming a full professor. I had just launched my radio show. And even though I had a period where I was very healthy back in 2009, which is when I ran the Baltimore Marathon, I was like, okay, I've got it. And then I just stopped. I couldn't remain consistent. It was always one more thing that I put in front of my health. It was taking care of my sons. It was in pursuit of my career. It was trying to write and to publish. It was always something else. And it was becoming quite serious. I remember, again, this is about 2 years now before I saw Chauncey. So the 4 year point, now the 2 year point, where my physician told me that they were concerned because I was pre-diabetic. They said, okay, so we're going to start thinking about putting you on medication. And I remember that my OBGYN said something that has stayed with me. She said, some people are able to turn things around, and some people we have to put on medication because they need the help. And I think you're going to be one of those people because you are not going in the right direction. You're not prioritizing your health. And she said, you just need to wrap your head around getting on medication. We started talking about whether or not I need to go have the surgery. They're like, well, maybe we could talk about stomach stapling. Maybe we can cut out a piece of your stomach if you keep gaining at the rate that you're gaining. And this is when I had gotten to be over 200 pounds. And I was sitting here saying, I'm just so unhappy. I don't know what to do. I thought if I just get to the gym a couple of days, or if I just try to walk, or if I just gave up this meal, if I just fast very quickly, I can lose it without the commitment. And so it was all of that that went into my time where I finally committed to working with Chauncey. But it was very, very depressing. It was hard because you get to a point where you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, but you don't know what to do about it. And that
Right.
is how I felt. That I would always laugh and say it on my radio show that I was somebody who was either going on a diet, coming off a diet, or researching for the next diet. Like it was always like if someone told me that if you just eat cabbage, you can lose weight, the next month I was trying cabbage. Okay, let me just do all orange, let me do all fruit. Whatever it is, it was always trying something different, looking for the quick fix.
Right. Right. So I have a question for you, Dr. K. When you say 200 pounds, people say, well, 200 pounds is not a lot of weight. But how tall are you, Dr. K?
Yeah, I'm only 5'5". 200 pounds had me wearing size 22, size 20. 200 pounds, I could not look down and see my feet.
Mm-hmm.
200 pounds, walking up the steps, it was exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
200 pounds was when I stepped on the scale. I would always think, well, maybe I was like, maybe it's my shoes, maybe it's
That,
my clothes, maybe take off my socks. Like, maybe just kind of like, maybe it's something else I'm wearing.
You're
But
going
200
overboard now.
pounds was hard. I know. Well, I mean, you keep thinking it's got to be something. It can't be me. I
It can't
can't
be you.
be
It cannot.
too. It can't be me. It must be
Yeah.
something else.
Right.
And wrapping my head around that was hard because 200, and really it was like 215. 215 pounds is a lot of weight to carry, to be 5'5", and to be in a family where my sons are athletes. My
Mm-hmm.
husband's very active, and I am the one who they say, "Come, mommy, let's take a walk." No, I'll just meet you there, or let me just walk down the block. And I tried. There were days where we would go for a run, and it was like, just meet me back. And so I would run, walk, stop, sit, and just almost pass out. But I knew that at some point something had to be done, because I was also up against another big fear, is you're up against the age. Like
Yeah.
you don't age backwards,
Yeah.
right? So that
You
that's
don't.
a real consideration, knowing that at some point, as my OBGYN is, you're going to age out of being able to do something quick. Like at some point, it is going to be a lifestyle choice, because it's not going to be the 3 month or 4 month quick fix that you can do if you're like 25 or
Mm-hmm.
23. You can like do something fast. You can't do that after a certain age, when your body starts hitting the ages of being premenopausal. Like everything begins to shift and change, and you move differently.
And there's something else when you bring up the word premenopausal. A lot of women and men, okay, you guys have to understand, as we age, we lose bone mass.
Absolutely.
That's
Mhm.
why a lot of people, if they fall and break a hip, they
Mm-hmm.
fall and break a hip so quickly when they get up in age.
Mm-hmm.
So, as Dr. K is talking about premenopausal, we start to lose bone mass even quicker
Mhm.
there. Okay. Men, you're going to lose it too. No, you don't have to be premenopausal, but you will start to lose bone mass to where your
Mhm.
bones can get brittle and break. Okay. So, Dr. K, I do have a question for you, and I'm going to revert this to Chauncey as well. Before you started working out, were you starting to feel like aches in your knees, your back? I mean, were you having those aches? I mean, that's the question that I'm having. I mean, asking.
Yes, I had aches and pains all the time. Everything hurt. My back hurt when I got up in the morning, and I was thinking maybe it's just the way I slept. My knees would hurt if I would walk up and down the stairs, or I'm breathing really hard when I walk up and down the stairs. A real fear that my husband later told me after I was working with Chauncey. And I think I might have mentioned this to Chauncey one time. The real fear of my husband, like, I'm always afraid that you were going to fall
Yeah.
and hurt yourself,
Hmm.
because you're just carrying a lot of weight and not being very nimble
Mm-hmm.
on your feet. I mean, it's just, I felt clunky,
Right.
and I didn't know why. I sometimes had headaches, and I was exhausted all the
Yeah.
time. Like the
Yeah.
fact that I am working out at 4:30 in the morning, which I know we'll get to, is a completely different lifestyle for me, because I slept heavy. I think that when you carry a lot of weight, you sleep heavier,
You.
because by the time you just kind of, you eat late, you eat early, you eat all the time. And I used to tell myself, I said, well, maybe what I have is I have an oral fixation. So I have to keep eating snacks, because that's just how my brain works. And
Right.
that's what I told myself. I'm like, I just got to keep eating snacks, because some of us work that way. It's not that I'm hungry, it's I'm snacking, but it's trying to find something in the food. And it was the process, I think, was Shay and was Chauncey. But I also think there's another piece to it, about really taking a moment to be honest with yourself about who you are in this moment. Who are you running to be, and who are you running from?
That
Mm-hmm.
part. So you said something very interesting as you were talking. You said lifestyle. I don't think
Mhm.
everybody heard you when you said that. I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I mean, that's totally a different
It,
lifestyle
it totally is.
than what you were
Yeah,
used to.
it
And
is.
I have to keep saying lifestyle, because this is not a one-time diet thing for you. You didn't wake up like this.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
You made you changed your whole entire lifestyle. So after you
Yeah.
went to the doctor
Yes.
and you told you that you're pre-diabetic, and we're getting ready to start putting you on some medication. How about getting your stomach stapled a little bit? Uh, Chauncey, the trainer, can you help
No,
me?
and no, it didn't work like that. Chauncey knows. I mean,
And
I was gonna get on medication.
yeah, it didn't. I'm going to lead you into the story, Dr. K, is that to the listening audience, sometimes I say you have to meet yourself where you're at.
Yeah,
Dr.
Mhm.
K,
yeah,
it did not start off that way. She still wasn't ready. She had access to me. You couldn't get no more closer to me than when, but she still wasn't ready. I want you to tell the listening audience and the viewing audience, Dr. K, because we care about them and we want them to understand that you have to be willing to make the commitment to change your lifestyle. And when you were ready to make that commitment, you were ready, but it didn't happen and you were a finger shot away from it. Let them know about how it happened.
Yeah.
So when Johnson said you couldn't get closer to him, I used to bring my son to train with Chauncey. My son is a D1 fencer and he was
Yeah.
getting ready for college. And he said to me, oh, this is just so funny. He said to me, Mom, do you know a coach that can train me? I was like, oh, say less. I know someone. I've talked to him on my radio show. He always invites me out to the Angels. I went out one time and they seem like they're doing a great thing. I said, but let me see if Coach Chauncey can train you. And Coach said, yes. Can you bring him early? And it was like 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I can do 5 a.m. because I could do it for my son. I couldn't do it for myself. I'm like, I can get up at 5 a.m. for my son. I would take him to Chauncey and we would get there. I mean, 4:40, we were never late because it was for my son. I'm never late. And I would go, this is just insane when you think about it. I would take him into the gym and go in the office and sit in the office and like sleep. Or like watch TV. Or just I'm at a gym. I never even dawned on me, let me walk here. Let me do something. And Chauncey began to say to me, hey, when are you going to work out? I was like, well, yeah, I'm bringing a mirror. It's really about a mirror. Let me stay focused on a mirror. But he kept asking. I'm like, well, I said, well, I'm in a gym and I'm not working out. My husband later said, I always wanted to say to you, you could work out while you're at the gym. He said, but I didn't want to press you. I didn't want to press you. Chauncey asked me so much. It was so irritating with him saying, hey, you can work out. When are you going to come? Hey, Dr. K, you're one of the angels. And I said to him, when I take Amir to college, when I drop him off, then I will start.
Okay.
I dropped him off and I said, oh, I made that commitment. And in the back of my mind, I said, well, Chauncey's not going to remember. I said, but you know what? I'm going to go because I committed to it. And I started off coming at 5 a.m. And then people were contacting me. And I just asked Chauncey, can I move it back to 4:30 so it's nice and quiet? And he only let me do 2 days a week. And I think that the first week I wanted to quit because I was in so much pain. And it was really workout, but it hurt. And Chauncey is just so patient. And he was just like, stick with it. Like,
yes, he is.
Stick with it.
Yes,
Just stick with it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think I was like, let's come every day. He said, no, let's do 2 days. He said, and I'll let you know when to do 3 days. I think it was that combined with Chauncey saying, the other thing you have to do is you have to come and walk with the angels so you can have a community. He said, because you're all on the journey together.
Oh, wonderful.
So it was nice.
When Dr. K, we talk about the different components, Shay, the cardio strength, flexibility, commitment, consistency, but Dr. K hit on another very important part, especially at a certain age. Finding that right fitness community that will also support you, that gets it, that understands it, is one of the things I try to combine in my training. Because I'm the trainer, I'm supposed to do what I do and kind of know what I know. But it helps when you have that community of other individuals that kind of know the struggle. That kind of, I don't really feel like doing it, but you know what? Dr. K showing up, I'm going to show up. That community is so underrated in the whole fitness conversation of cardio, strength, flexibility, community, nutrition. The community is a very important part, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because for the viewing audience and listening audience, it's important you find a supportive community that's going to lift you up, because sometimes the trainer is a trainer. They do what they do. Sometimes you need to have that individual to walk with or bounce something off the head. You know what I really do? They might I don't really feel like, girl, we've
Hello, Chauncey?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I just want to make sure you were still
I
there.
lost the last thing you said.
Yeah.
I do
Doc,
want to add that.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Chauncey.
No, I'm done, Dr. K. Go ahead.
I was going to say that after I had been working with you about 3 months, I was complaining. And I said, okay, so Chauncey, I'm coming. I'm not losing any weight. I said, it's been
I'm
3 months.
complaining.
I haven't lost a pound. I said, and I am here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you were working me out. And he said, okay, so now you're ready for the next step. He
Mm-hmm.
said, so I'm going to connect you with the tag team with Shay. He said, and you just need to do what she says. And when I connected with
Everything.
Shay and she laid everything down, I was like, oh my goodness, this is just a whole different level. But that is when Chauncey taught me a statement I always repeat. You cannot outwork out a bad diet.
Nope.
You can't
And
outrun it. Because
also,
I was doing everything wrong. Mhm.
when you contacted me, I also told you something else too. I was very patient, but I also told you if you stop now, which most people do, only one thing, you're going to gain weight. If you commit to the nutrition and commit to the fitness together, guess what happened? Because typically, what I remember in your text, I can remember it. You were like, well, you know what? Like I'm not getting where I need to be. I feel like I'm kind of,
I was like, you
maybe.
can't even help me.
And I was very transparent. I said,
Mhm.
stop, and these are the things that are going to happen. Commit, and these are the good things that are going to happen. You committed to the healthy nutrition and the healthy fitness lifestyle and the consistency. And here's where we're at a year later. But you had to refocus, and everyone goes to that point. You know what? The scale's not moving. I'm not. Now, then I also say, are you doing everything you're supposed to be doing?
That
Have
part.
you put in 100% on the nutrition? Have you put in 100% on the fitness? Have you put them together with the commitment? And once you did, not only the scale, but your overall health numbers, your overall fitness accomplishments, the running, doing fitness achievements that someone 20 years younger than you probably couldn't do. Once you made that commitment, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
audience, the listening audience to know, as we laughed in the beginning, it's not easy to make that commitment.
That's
You came to the gym and didn't do nothing.
that's
But
right.
sometimes it's staring you in the face, and you have to go ahead and make that commitment. And then along the way, sometimes there's readjustments. Look how many times Shay has had to readjust your nutrition program. Look at the different
Yeah.
times we
Mhm.
readjusted your fitness programs. That's part of a lifestyle. Look at our jobs. Sometimes we have to get up earlier to make it to work. Sometimes we have to get up later. We
Right.
have to make adjustment. It's not just a one fix of, well, this is my fitness program. This is supposed to work the next 10 years. That's not how it goes. You have to
Right.
make adjustments and be prepared to pivot. Be prepared to pivot, because when it's a lifestyle, you're going to pivot. You're going to make adjustments. Shay, I need to reduce the calories. I need some extra calories because I'm working for this. Chauncey, and you know what? I want to train for this. Or, maybe I need to do this. It's the adjustments, and being able to be flexible and pivot is the key to success.
Dr. K, with your fitness with Chauncey, you have soared from, like I said, a couch potato to an athletic runner.
Mm.
So Chauncey has been working the mess out of you. Why? Because I'm in the gym looking at him work the mess out of you. All right. I might chime in every now and then to hit you with some abs, but other than that, I'd barely even talk to you or mess with you when it comes to fitness. Chauncey, he is like he's great with everyone in that gym. He really is.
Mhm.
Question for you. When you say you cannot run a bad diet, talk about the nutritional journey that you had to go through. First, start with when you were with Chauncey those first 3 months and you saw no change. And then when you got with me, with my nutrition, how that changed. What were you doing when you was working out with Chauncey?
I was eating more. I would feel that since I'm working out, I should be able to eat more food because
But
I'm
stop it
burning
there.
more
Stop there.
calories.
Stop there. Say that again, because I don't think that people
Yes,
really understand that concept. Say that again, please. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't
I
mean to interrupt.
really thought that, yeah, no, but I just thought since I was working out, in my mind, I was burning hundreds of calories. And I'm like, if I'm working out this hard, I should be able to eat whatever I want. I'll burn it off in the gym.
Oh,
But I
okay.
was not doing the level of aerobic exercise that I'm doing now. Because one of the things when I got with you, Shay, because I'm with Chauncey 3 days a week, you would tell me after you worked on the diet, which I did not like because you stripped me down of everything. I did
Mm-hmm.
not like it. Starting with the detox tea, when you're like, well, I get everything out. She said, we have to take you back down to ground zero. You're going to go back. You're going to do you're going to start with doing a juice fast. And I remember I was dizzy. I thought I was going to faint. I was going to pass out. And I sent you a text, you
Go
and
lay down.
Chauncey. And
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey, who's so kind, he's like, you know what? Just stay strong. You're like, yeah, you know what? You'll be fine. If you pass out on something soft. You'll be fine. Like, you will be fine. Um, but you also told me you have to do something on the days when you're not with Chauncey. You
Absolutely.
just can't do that. There's got to be more. You got to walk, you got to run. And I still wasn't ready. Like, you're talking a big punch and doing everything. And so it has been stages for me. So working with Chauncey, then nutrition, and then you kept saying about aerobics. And then Chauncey just tapped into something that I really liked. This idea of the racing. I think one of the amazing things about Chauncey is he figures out what drives you and then just taps it. And we all get driven by different things.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, he'll figure out if somebody's at the gym and that person needs to have you at the gym, then he'll work the schedule so you two are at the gym together because he can tell that you're connected. But one of the things he probably figured out is I need something to work toward,
Mm-hmm.
or it just doesn't work. I have to have some type of goal. And when he said, hey, let's do Druid Hill, which is this run, I was like, yeah, let's do it. But it meant I started running. And he gave me a running program. Then he said, let's do the Baltimore Marathon. I was like, what is that? Let's train for 2 races in one day. Now, you're talking someone who a year before was 215 pounds and could barely walk up the stairs. And I'm running Druid Hill, which is 6 miles uphill, right? Just amazing. And then training for a race where I'm doing a half marathon and a 5K in one day,
Mm-hmm.
which not only did I see the fitness level change, when I went back to my doctor, she was sitting there saying, you just tell me exactly what you did, because I've never seen this in someone who is your age. You're over 45. You're no longer pre-diabetic. You have low blood pressure. Like, what are you doing? What exactly have you done this last year where everything has changed? She said, because we never see this. You were on the list and we thought this would be the year you'll be going on medication. And now I want you to talk to other patients. I was like, well, really, I can't help anybody. I can give you the number of the 2 people who can. I have no idea what they did. They just put together a program and I just follow it. But to come down from somebody who was 215 down to where my goal is to get under 170. That is my goal. And I'm working on it. Moving from wearing a size 22 down to a size 8'10", to where I would be the family member who would stay home while my family went out. And now I'm running 5 miles on a Sunday morning with my husband. And he's working out with me. My sons are working out with me. They're calling me an athlete. And I've never felt better about myself to be proud enough where I can wear a sleeveless shirt. I saw a picture Chauncey sent me. I never showed my arms. It was like the worst part of my body. And to be able to put on a shirt in the summertime to show my muscles, like all these things, it wasn't just about getting in shape for me. It was about learning how to love myself
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
and be patient and to be gentle with myself. So if I do overeat, it's being gentle with myself and saying, you know what? You're going to be okay. You can do one bad diet or one bad choice is not going to stop you. I think it's life lessons too. Like
Mm-hmm.
one small decision, like take that forward, make the adjustment. As Shay would always say, okay, let's get back on track. Get back on track. And I think about that not just for my food, but for everything. Okay, I traveled. Get back on track. Or even while I was traveling, Chauncey, give me a program to do while I'm in Israel. I can do it in the hotel room so that I can not lose sight of my fitness journey, because it is not something that has an end goal. It's a long-term goal. So what is next is what I'm always excited about.
So, Dr. K, as you have been on this fitness journey with Chauncey and I, you not only recognize the difference in your body and how you are able to run 16, 17 miles, okay? But what have you learned about your body? Not so much the body mechanics. When we talk about your body and we talk about the nutrition and all those other things, I mean, the way the Fit for Life has broken down science, numbers,
Mhm.
to where we can all understand and relate to. Can you explain that process? Because I mean, I know you every Sunday you are on, if it was just you by yourself. I need to talk about my numbers, Shay. Let's
Mhm.
talk about those numbers because people need to understand it's not just about nutrition diet. You
Mhm.
really need to understand your body. And that's what
And that
you
is something,
learn is
yes.
your body. And if you get on that scale and you see that visceral, which people do not understand their body,
Mhm.
jump up, then you're like, I'm doing something wrong. I need to back up. I need to detox. Shay, Chauncey. I
Mhm.
mean, you know what those numbers mean. Can you just give the audience just a little bit of the mechanics or the science of your own body? Because that's basically what we taught you, the science of your own
Mhm.
body.
And that's something I did not understand. I thought it was just about the weight and how heavy I was. And if I lose a certain amount of weight, that means I'm healthier. Getting that particular scale, that fit scale that Shay has me, and getting on the scale and being able to look at my visceral fat. So, how much fat is around my lungs and my heart, and how
Absolutely.
that will then impact me. Looking at my BMI, my body mass index, and how I need that to be lower. So, it's not just about the weight coming off, it's about being healthier inside.
Absolutely.
Even looking at the age of my body going down, starting
Mm,
with my body age being 62 and not being anywhere near 62. And I noticed that the more I got in shape, the more my visceral fat came down, the more my BMI came down, the more we used to about the body weight index and, in terms of the
mhm,
weight mass versus the fat on your body.
mhm, the
So I
body.
look at all those numbers and then just seeing incredible drops just because I'm making healthier food choices, but I'm coupling that with working out and
Yes.
always staying fit and active. I mean, I do the intermittent fasting. I've
Mhm,
done this 20 hours a day, the 16 hours, and I'll keep mixing the program up. I knew when we were running and training for the Baltimore Marathon, we changed everything. It's like, okay, wait a minute, I can't go out and run 12 miles today
no,
and then not eat. I have to kind of balance it out. And so I'm learning about that. And it is getting really fascinating to me because it's exciting when I'm pushed. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go out and run today. Or even on Monday, it was just a beautiful day. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go run the stairs, which a year ago, the idea of going out and running 1,500 steps
in,
just by
Dec-
myself,
in
be-
December.
yeah, in December, because I had a free hour. But it was, I want to do this. And what is exciting for me is to be able to then share it with my coach. Like I'm always like, hey coach, I just did this. So I'm getting ready to run up these stairs. I got you in my head, arms, knees, and breathe. Because it's the ongoing encouragement. I think that it's easier for me to work with a team than to do it by myself because I need the encouragement.
absolutely. And that's what we are trying to um, not push, but really try to bring about to our audience today that sometimes you may need that extra encouragement.
Mhm.
Maybe you might need that push. Chauncey and I, we are definitely tag team. I can't do it without him, and he can do it. I mean, we can, but it's easier when you have someone that can handle one part of the aspects of making someone greater, not great, but greater. All right, a better version of themselves is what I like to call it. All right, and then you have someone on the other side to where it says Chauncey's like, well, you know what? If you're not moving, next level. I'm gonna send you over to Shay Brown Brown. All right, to where I might, just as Dr. K says, strip you of everything that you know and hold dear to your plate and fork. That is just what we do. Okay. And that
I think
process,
that once you do that, oh, I'm sorry.
That
No, I was
process,
agreeing with you.
yeah, that it takes, it's a process. And I tell people, if you cannot be patient yourself,
Mhm.
then I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure. You really are. You have to be patient with yourself. You did not get this weight on overnight, and you definitely will not get it off overnight. Dr. K has been, she, to be honest with you, she really doesn't even need me and Chauncey right now because
Oh,
she knows what she has to do. She's laughing, but you know what?
laugh,
We have
laugh.
education is so important right now. Okay. We have educated her on her fitness.
Yep.
We have educated her on her nutrition to where she probably can tell someone else
Mhm.
how to take care of their own. Well, you know what? Shay got to let's get this scale. And this scale will tell you your visceral fat, your body fat percentage, subcutaneous. She will run those numbers down to you. Okay. She might not be able to make the soups and juices, but I mean, she will be able to tell you these important numbers will let you know that you're in the danger zone. Okay. Improper body mechanics. All right, I have a coach here that can help you with your body mechanics to where you do have proper body mechanics. But together, we definitely tag team. And together, we get tunnel vision. Tunnel vision of what that individualized person what they need. And we work together. Even when Dr. K didn't even know I was texting Chauncey.
Oh,
Chauncey, hey, do this, and the other. And Chauncey's like, okay, we're gonna get it done next week. She don't even know. But I know what I needed her numbers to be. As she was saying that scale, Dr. K, you gotta have to do more than just work out with Chauncey. You need to increase your aerobics, okay? Chauncey, this is what Dr. K needs. All right, it's gonna get done because I needed those numbers to change on
mhm.
that scale. And if I didn't see him change, she wasn't gonna do it. Chauncey,
Mhm.
Chauncey makes sure that it happened. Sometimes I walked in and poor things, I mean, she was gasping for breath.
Yeah.
Okay. But she didn't pass out because if she did, we'll throw one of the mats down there for her to pass out on. You'll be all right. Get up.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm not the one that's compassionate. Chauncey is the one that gives love.
Mhm.
I give tough love.
You know, and along the
Go ahead,
way,
Chauncey.
as we talk about, Dr. K was able to motivate a lot of her listeners to get fit too. You know, she her transparent stories about her fitness walk and her nutrition, and some of her listening audience, said, you know what, if she can take the plunge, we can take the plunge out. It's about the community. The amount of people in her listening audience that not just contacted me, but just decided to reach out to a nutritionist or a trainer for that community. You feel so much better, not only when you get with Dr. K, Shay, and Chauncey, but when you've encouraged someone else by giving that love, that look, I wasn't ready to. That's why Dr. K's story is so great too. It wasn't, I went to a gym that day I was ready to work. She came to the gym and slept for 2 months, 2 to 3. And then when sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not that simple. And during the time of the year, what we're trying to do is encourage you to not wait until January the 1st to start taking the small steps. If you're listening to this program, that's one of the biggest steps you've made.
Yeah.
And listening to
Yep.
this program, next step, it's going to be 50 degrees. Go for a walk. It's going to be 50
Yeah.
degrees Friday. Go for a walk. Start your research. Do your research now before you get into the gym on January 1st so you can set yourself up for success.
Absolutely, absolutely,
I just
absolutely.
want to add that something that you said, Shay, when you're like, "Oh, Dr. K can do it herself," which I think is great, which I really appreciate, and thank you for that. But I actually need the accountability. I know that when there were a couple of mornings when I said to my husband, I said, "Oh, I overslept. I'm not going to be able to make it." And he's like, "You know, you can go now. Like, I don't know why you're acting like you just can't go now." Because I'm like, "Well, it's not 4:30. I can't go." I think I rode to the gym at 5:30. Charles like, "Yeah, you can still
Mm,
come." But in moments like that, it's a way of realizing that it takes a full village.
absolutely.
So having Chauncey and Coach, but even having somebody in my own household, having my husband go, you know, you can go now, or you know what, why don't you come this run? You didn't go to the race because I couldn't make the Celtic race with Chauncey on Saturday. My husband's like, Sunday morning, you know what? You're going to do 5 miles for the race. Let's do 5 miles now. Come on, I'll do 5 miles with you. Let's just do it for the time. Do it like a race. Get it in. Like that support for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the support I need.
And most of the time, Dr. K, most people do want to stay with things they feel comfortable with because of the accountability.
Yeah.
All right. And we will hold you as long as you keep sending me text messages. I am going to be on you, girl. Okay. That's just something that we're going to do. I mean, and I'm sorry to say, I mean, you have your show at 2:00 and I'm in the office with patients, but my phone and bling today with Dr. K, and I'm like, wow, let me just sit here and look. And then I look and see how slim your face is gotten. I'm like, and Chauncey and I are like sending text messages to her, and I'm like, and I can see you smile like, here they go again. But I mean, we see your transformation. And we're just, look, Chauncey, we're just proud parents, you know, right now.
I'll do and I'll see your face, and you could be in a deep, and I just see the whole change, and I'll screenshot, I'll send it to Shay, then I'll send it to you. But it's a beautiful thing to be part of this community, to be part of this fitness community and watch the transformation once you commit it. Is a beautiful thing, and everyone can have a piece of that, you know, but first they have to make that commitment. And that's why your story, it's funny, but it's true. Once you made the commitment, my son has gone to school, I said I was going to do it. All right, let's do it. You know, whatever it is, you got to get out of the way, listening audience, within these next 2 weeks, get it out of the way. So when you go in there January 1st or whatever day you decide to do it, you can get it done. Because what you did say, Dr. K, was when he goes to school, I'm going to do it. And you stuck to it.
Yes, you did.
Do it. And that's the key. You know, you were like, okay, this is going to be the date. This is when I'm going to do it. And you did it. And that's what we want people to see, is remove some of the obstacles. And when you make the commitment, stay with the commitment.
Absolutely. So, Dr. K, can I say how many pounds you are down?
Yes. Oh, my word. Yes.
43 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
43 pounds.
Wow.
And we're not even done yet. So sorry.
Yeah.
We're not. We have about 12 to go. And after that, I'm like, look, you just call me whenever you just need an extra here and there. But I'm not letting you go to those extra 12 are gone, because I said that was going to be the goal, and that will be the goal. Okay. But she is down 43 pounds, and that is something to give you an applaud about. Okay. Because you have worked so hard.
I didn't even think about it.
43. Yeah. Isn't that something? Almost 50 pounds.
I'm saying, I don't even think about it. Wow.
Did you get your stomach stable? Did you get your stomach stable?
No, I didn't. No.
No. You want medication?
No any medication?
No medications, no stomach stapling, no gastric bypass. Just hard work, determination, and your skeletal mass. We didn't talk about that number, but when she started, her skeletal mass was like 20. It has soared up to 40. Was it 50? I mean, I think it was like 40.
Yes, it's been 55. Like, so it's all the way up from doing the weightlifting. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And you want that skeletal muscle to go up. And these are the things that we teach her, because she knows that number is supposed to always go up. So if that number is going up with her losing bone mass, we cannot change that. That's just something that happens as we age. But guess what? She has built up enough muscle to protect herself from self-inflicted injuries, which is a trip and fall. She trip and fall, she probably can just make a muscle, land right on that muscle of that arm and not break the bone, okay? If she trip and fall, she probably can stop herself, use that core, hold herself up. I mean, these are things that she has done, and it's never too late. We are women over the age of 50. Me, I'm going to turn 52 next month. I'm so excited. But we are women in our 50s, and we are not playing with it, okay? So, again, if you are looking for a coach, this dude that's on the other side of me, he will push you. He will motivate you. He will encourage you to be the best version that you can be. If you're looking for a nutritionist, of course, I'm going to push you real hard. All right. I'm nothing like Chauncey. Okay. Good cop, bad cop. All right.
Bad cop.
because I do not play when it comes to your nutrition. Why? Stroke, heart attack, they don't play either. All right. I said I was going to get up and go running tomorrow. Well, it's cold. Well, you know what? A stroke and heart attack don't wait for the weather either.
It don't.
It doesn't wait for your convenience. Okay. These are things that you have to do. Is it cold? I say, yeah. Do you like the cold? No, I don't like the cold. But these are things that you have to do. I've gotten in the habit of running, and I'm kind of liking it a little bit because everybody knows I hate to run, but I'm starting to like it more. And I like the fact that when I run, I feel like I'm running with God.
Quiet.
So I don't want to stop that because that is my time to talk to him without the disruptions of the family, the phone. That is my time to talk to him. So you're going to have to find something that works for you. And if you can't find it, you have two people right here that are ready and willing to take on new clients to help you to be, like I said, the best version of you that you can possibly be. Okay. It is 9:01. Dr. K, do you want to give them any last remark before I do my thank yous for, at the end of my show? I'm just so in awe right now.
No, I guess really the only thing I would say is the most exciting thing for me is meeting myself on the other side. I think it's hard to get started. You're impatient about where you want to be. But every day when I look at myself and say, okay, wow, this is like a new version of me, and meeting who I am, whether it is when I'm getting dressed, when I'm walking with my son, just it's every part of me. I love that my sons can see my journey and can appreciate it. And which is why I share it. I put it out on Facebook. I share it with people because I think it's a journey that we're all on. It's a journey to be better versions of ourselves. It's a long journey. Sometimes it's a lonely journey. It's a hard journey. Find your team. I mean, I'm happy I found my team. Find your team because that's really what you need to make it through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Chauncey, do you have any last words, sir?
Nope. Just happy holidays and everyone. And remember to give love.
All right, guys.
Give love.
I definitely want to give a couple of thanks to JC3. JC3 is my little marketing person who has been helping me because you guys know that I do 1,001 things during the course of a day. But I just want to tell JC3, thank you so much for doing all the marketing stuff for me. Also want to give a special thanks to Chauncey, the trainer, for taking out of his time, coming on to encourage people to start moving. Again, we are doing the Wednesdays class for another 2 weeks, guys. All right. Wednesdays at 6:30 in the morning. You'll see me popping in and out. You might even see Dr. K just walking through. Dr. K said she is
just walking.
Walking through, okay? But we are all there at that gym, okay? And if you're looking for a gym, you can go down to Mission. What is it? What's the name of the gym, Chauncey?
2726.
Yes. Mission Fit on. That's why I can't get it right. I put Mission Street, Session Street. I'm like, my words all messed up. So you want to go down to Mission Fit on Session Street, and that's where you will find Chauncey, the trainer, and he will be able to get you started on a fitness plan. And if you need nutrition, Chauncey is sending you right on over to me, okay, guys? But I just want to give another special thanks to Dr. K, which I know is another busy person.
Sure.
But she took that time to come out to encourage you guys, to tell you about her journey, which was not a very easy journey for her in the beginning. But you know what? Look at her on the other side, okay? And that too can be you as well. Only thing you have to do is just take that first step. You take that first step and we'll help you take the rest of your steps with you to eventually you start running. Okay, guys. So I think that is about it with our show. I think that I'm sorry, she said where? He is at Mission Fit 2720
Session Street.
Okay.
Right? The Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Everyone knows where the Enterprise Rent-A-Car is.
And this is his telephone number. If you guys want to write that down, give him a call. His consultations, do you charge for consultations, Chauncey? His consultations are free. Yep, his consultations are free. He'll do an assessment formulate a fitness plan that is designated just for you personally, okay? So, I mean, like I said, you make the first step, Chauncey and I, we definitely will help you to make those other steps as well. That is the end of our show.
And I'll cheer you on from the side.
Yes. Diana Canoe says, thank you, Chauncey. I think you might have a new client here, sir. Okay. So we definitely want to thank everybody for coming out today and chime in again with us for another edition of Your Health Matters. I doubt that I'm thinking that we should be on for next Wednesday because we want to get everything started for the new year. Okay, guys. God bless.
All
and
right.
again, thank you again for coming out and spending time with us.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.